This sleep story is a retelling of the movie Shakespeare in Love. It's 1593. We're backstage of the Rose, an Elizabethan theater, and there's more drama backstage than there is on stage. The Rose's owner, Philip Henslow, is being tortured by his financier, Mr. Hugh Fennyman, who's lighting a fire under Henslow's feet, literally. Henslow isn't good at managing money, but he swears he's good at managing talent. He promises a new play soon, one to fill seats, a comedy by William Shakespeare called Romeo and Ethel, the Pirate's Daughter. But first it could use a bit of writing. William Shakespeare, a dreamy lad, needs a muse. He thinks it might be Rosaline, seamstress to actor William Burbage, but when he catches her in bed with Mr. Tilney, the master of revels, their writer and muse relationship is no more. Depressed, William drinks away his sorrows. In the pub, he meets fellow playwright Christopher Marlowe, who gives him a few revisions for his play. Romeo is a lovesick Italian in love with a girl he cannot be with. It started to sound like the play we're familiar with, but who will play Romeo? Enter Viola de Lesseps. Viola wants to be an actor in a time where women aren't allowed on stage, so she straps down her chest, puts on some boy's clothes, and changes her name to Thomas Kent, and auditions for the role of Romeo. Will is entranced. He follows Kent to the de Lesseps estate where a party is in full swing. There he meets Viola, who is simply gorgeous, and Will falls hard for her. However, Viola is engaged, against her will, to Lord Wessex, who wants to know why this scrawny little writer keeps dancing with his woman. Will tells Wessex his name is Christopher Marlowe and flees. But he meets Viola on her balcony for a romantic interaction. Will rushes home to write new scenes, using Viola as an inspiration for his Juliet. A theater troupe called the Admiral's Men, led by Ned Allian, joins the play, and Viola, as Thomas, takes the role of Romeo. Lord Wessex has decided to marry Viola in 2 weeks and take her to the colony of Virginia. Viola, as Thomas, delivers a letter to Will from Viola as Viola, forbidding him from pursuing their relationship further. If you know anything about Shakespeare, it's that he loves him some forbidden love. This prompts him to chase down Thomas Kent, who finally reveals that he is actually Viola. And so begins their passionate love affair. They visit the Queen, and Queen Elizabeth I is interrogating Wessex's bride-to-be. She's shocked that Viola loves poetry and plays so much. The Queen doesn't believe that a play can accurately portray love. Playwrights teach us nothing about love. They make it pretty, they make it comical, or they make it lust. They cannot make it true. A bet is made that someone can do it. William Shakespeare, perhaps? The pressure is on for him to write more and to write better. All the while, though, a deadline looms, Viola's wedding to Lord Wessex. They know their affair has a short lifespan. It ends up being cut even shorter when Christopher Marlowe turns up dead, and Will thinks that Wessex killed Marlowe and he's responsible. He slips into a deep grief. Plus, Viola finds out that Shakespeare has an estranged wife, Anne Hathaway. However, it's revealed that Wessex didn't kill Marlowe, but he still wants William Shakespeare dead. They duel in an epic sword fight on the stage of the Rose, while Viola, as Thomas, watches helplessly. It ends in a draw, and Wessex leaves. However, Mr. Tilney, master of revels, enters and shuts down the Rose for lewdness. He says there's a woman acting on stage, and Thomas's true identity is revealed. Viola has been ratted out by a grubby little street urchin who has been fired from the play. Now Shakespeare has lost his Romeo, and he will soon lose his real-life Juliet. Viola is wed to Lord Wessex, but she learns that the play is being performed at a different theater, the Curtain, and she sneaks away to watch it. With Viola expelled from the theater, Will steps into Romeo's breeches, and backstage the young boy to play Juliet is going through a voice change. His voice is too deep to play the maiden, so the play is suddenly without a Juliet. Viola finds out there is no Juliet, and she steps in to play the role. A woman playing a woman. Scandalous. But with Will as Romeo and Viola as Juliet, the play is a smash hit. Not only does the public love it, but so does the Queen, who somehow snuck in even though she's wearing a truly gigantic dress. When Mr. Tilney tries to get the curtain shut down too for having a woman on stage, the Queen lies for Viola, saying that Viola is a man, Thomas Kent, who is just really, really good at looking like a woman. Most importantly, the Queen declares that a playwright has finally portrayed true love, cementing Romeo and Juliet's reputation as a timeless play. However, she tells Thomas Kent to go fetch Lord Wessex's bride. She may have gotten to be an actor for the day, but Viola still must go to the United States with a man she does not love. Viola and Will say a tearful goodbye, but not before brainstorming his next play, one in which a woman named Viola is the sole survivor of a shipwreck. The Queen wants it performed for Twelfth Night, which sounds like a really catchy title, too. Viola and Will say they will love each other always. Viola departs, and Will begins to write again.